All right. All right, we got what we need. Okay, guys, we are looking at the homework that I gave you on Tuesday, and it is that worksheet. If you haven't started, you still have time. We won't be able to go over it on Monday, though, so I'm going to try to do a thorough job today. All right, so let's see what we get. And we're looking at, from the worksheet, this is section 1.1.3. This is just a worksheet, okay? And we're going to look at 4, 5A, 5B. Okay, so let's start at number 4. And I'm going to read it because I can't pull up two things at once here. A fifth grader takes a standardized achievement test. The mean of the test is 125. Standard deviation is 165, 162.5. What percentage of fifth graders who took the standardized test scored less than that individual? All right, we got a lot of info here. Now we're going to break it down. I like to do bullet points to kind of like, break the information. So I'll say on this test, we have mu is equal to 125. We have standard deviation of, that's right. Standard deviation is 15. The student scores a 162. So this is 0.5. This is our data point, okay? And we're just doing that same thing. We got to find our z-score. Z-score, go ahead and write out the z-score formula on your paper. See if you can get it right. You'll have to have that memorized. So that is a key. All right, and remember it's x sub 1 minus mu over standard deviation. Okay, so now we got all the pieces. I want you to have your z-score chart ready, which you may need to pull that out for the quiz. I'd really suggest trying to print this out for the quiz. Okay, guys, so try to print this out if you can. I'll just have it handy here so we can reference. And let's plug in what we know and what we don't know is z in this case. So 162.5 minus 125 over 15. So remember, our z-score and our percentile, which really is our rank, right? Our percentile, these are related. If we know the percentile, we can find the z-score. If we know the z-score, we can find the percentile. So I want to go in here and first compute all this out. I'm going to first subtract 162.5 minus 125, and then I'm going to divide by 15. And we get 2.50. Okay. So 2.50 is going to be easy because there's no hundredths place. So let's go ahead and get to the positive side of our z-score chart. And let me see if I can zoom this in a little more. Okay. So we have a z-score of 2.5. We need to go to that first value, 2.5, to start. All right. So I go here to 2.5, right? Remember, that gets us to the tenths place. But now we need to find the hundredths place. In this case, it's 0. It's 2.50. So since z-score is 2.50, z is 2.50, I just have to go 2.5, and then I'm not adding any hundredths. I'm not adding a hundredth, so I'm going to keep it. Dang it, keep moving over out of the screen. There we go. 2.5, it's going to be in the 0, 0 column here. I go down, and I get this right here. I get my percentile rank. The z-score gave me the percentile rank of 0.9938. So that's a really good score. It's a really good score. Let's go ahead and back away from our z-score information and go right back. We know that what we found, remember, z-score and percentile are related. So if you know one, you know the other. Oh, dang. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't look up to that thing that's on the screen. All right, welcome all y'all. We're looking at the worksheet homework review number 4 to start. Okay. So we have to look at this and then review back to what the question was asking, because I know that this tells me that if my percentile rank is given as a decimal, I can always convert that to a percentile by moving the decimal place 2 points. So this person's almost at 3 standard deviations. They're really, really doing well. They did better than 99.38% of the people. The reason I know that is, remember, z-score is all about how far over they were. Okay, so this person's like way over here. Their score of 162.5 compared to the mean of 125, it's much higher. It's much higher than the mean. Okay, so since it's much higher than the mean, that's why it makes sense that they did better than 99 point. So this area in here, this percentile is 99.38. Okay. So go ahead, and for the final answer or question, it says, what percentage of fifth graders who take the standardized test scored less than this individual? So what percentage scored less than this individual? So go ahead and write that in the box. I kind of said it might be kind of a trick question if you're like, that's what you just said. But I want you in the chat, go ahead and let me know. What percentage scored less than this person? I'm sorry. I thought the question actually was asking for who scored more. So you guys are right. No need to write that in the chat. With 162, they scored better than 99%. So better than 99.38% of test takers. Okay. So on Monday, I'm going to have it set up so you're going to input your answers into a survey. You'll see. It'll be set up for you guys. But you have to put some kind of expression. You can't just put 99.38. Definitely don't put this intermediate decimal amount. We never listed as that. So better than 99.38%. That's what we're going to go with that. Okay. Thumbs up, sideways, down for that problem. Feeling all right? So far, so good? All right. Still a little sideways. No worries. We'll get there. All right. So keep copying that if you need to. I'm going to get another paper ready for number 5A. And I'm going to back this out a little bit too. Okay. A little more. It's weird. It's not bright enough. Why is it not bright? I don't know. Okay. So that was number 4. Now we're going to do 5A. So let's look at 5A. All right. 5A. One day I'll get this document reader working for me. Come on now. Yay. All right, 5A. Here we go. These are challenge problems. So yeah, I'm glad we're going over them. All right, scores on the SAT form a normal distribution and have a mean of 500 standard deviations. Mean of 500, standard deviation of 100. Okay. And A is asking, what is the minimum score necessary to be in the top 2.5% of SAT distribution? So let me think about this, okay? We have the normal distribution, and we're told that the mu is 500. And we have these standard deviations. Standard deviation is, what did they say, 100. Our question is this. What score do we need, right? What score do we need that will show that we did, one way to look at it is this, because we use the z-score to find this information out, I want to think of it as not what they're saying. So what they're saying is, what's the minimum score to be in the top 2.5%, right? So if they're saying, how do you end up over here? How do you end up over here, the top 2.5%? And the answer is, well, we have to find the score, and we're going to find the score from looking at the z-score, which is always going from 0 right here as far over as we need to. And we could find that percent pretty quick. Because we know if this part is 2.5%, the other side is going to be 97.5%. Is everyone okay with seeing that difference? Because you know it's always out of 100%. So we just use what they say. They said, what score do you need, or x sub 1, to be in this top 2.5%? I know then that we had to at least do better than 97.5%. So I'm going to use that because I know that this person has to at least be at the 97.5 percentile. Okay, that means they did better than 97.5% of the people. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and put this into decimal form, okay, because that's how we're going to look on the z-score chart for that. So just go ahead and switch that over to decimal form, and then we'll move on. Decimal form, so we end up with 0.975. Okay, this is what we're going to use to find, right, our z-score, and then it's going to have one more step from there. Okay, so go ahead and get out your table. I want everyone to practice finding 0.975, and remember, we're going from the percentile to find the z-score. So I'm looking in here for the number that is absolutely closest to 0.975, and that's going to help me find the z-score for that number. Okay, so everybody try to access that z-score chart. If you don't have it, honestly, the quickest way is just to Google search z-score chart, and you'll be able to find it pretty quick. Okay, so z-score chart, nice. Let me see if that, you're on point, so I'm sure this is good. Let me check. Z-score 997. Ooh. Perfect. Isabel got it. Nice. So 0.975 actually is one of the percentiles in there. And let's first just go ahead and identify it with a little arrow, because I want the number that is closest to 0.975, and I found that actually right there. And if you look real close, you could see that we end up with, yes, 0.975 is an actual number. So remember this, that we have 0.975. I know it's on this line right here, right? So I know that my tenths place is going to be a z-score is going to be 1.9, but then what else do I need to add to it? 0.9 what? Show me on your hands what I'm going to add right here. 0.9 what? 0.96. All right. Thanks for the hands. You got it. All right. Thanks. So look, I know that 0.75 is my percentile rank. I know what I'm looking for. So now I found my z-score of 1.9. And that 6 is what tells me that this is the number I'm looking for. I'm looking for that number. It's on this row. It's on that column. 1.9 plus 0.06, 1.96. Phew. All right, let's go back to what we were doing. So my z-score equals 1.96. Now, we aren't looking for the z-score though, right? We're looking for what score our x sub 1, what score actually gets us to that 97.5 position here. So when I'm looking at that, I know that this is going to come in handy. Everyone write this one down. Again, you got to have that memorized for Monday. All right, and then I look here. I know the mean. I know the standard deviation. I know the z-score chart. What I don't know is my x sub 1. But look, we have the z-score. We have the mu. We have the standard deviation, sigma. So we can find what that is by just working it out backwards. Okay. This may be the hardest problem that I would have on the quiz, just so you know. Okay, guys. So z-score 1.96 is equal to x sub 1. I don't know. I'm going to find it. 500 divided by 100. Everybody go and try to solve that out. Go and try to solve that out. Use PEMDAS. Try to get all the way through it. And Brian is here. While you do that, I'm going to take roll. So it's perfect time. All right, Brian, welcome in. We are reviewing homework from the worksheet. We're on number 5A. We're about to go to 5B, and I'm recording it, so you missed a lot of it. You can check it out in the video later.
Okay.
Cool. Good deal. Thanks for checking. All right. And I had Angelina's having a hard time getting in. So whoever told me Angie wasn't here, go ahead and text her back that I'll have the video for this later and the Kahoot for her to work on. Or she'll figure it out or ask you. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Sonia, Stephanie. All right. David, Maya was here. David. And Maya is here. Perfect. Roselli is here. Travis. Maggie. Whew. All right. Jackie. There. Saraya. And Joshua. Kelly. James. Kaylee. Sam. Colin. Tuvan. All right, Jackie. I had to find your name. I gotcha. You're good. All right. So, what do we have? Go ahead and throw it in the chat box. What is my x sub 1? I'm finding my x sub 1 from doing some work here, but put a line down the equal sign. How are you going to get x by itself? We got to get rid of the minus 500 and the divide by 100. Okay, good. So I'm seeing some consistent answers. Seeing it. Yeah, that seems about right. Alicia and Santana. That looks good. All right, keep on working with this. We're doing pretty good with time. So we'll probably do this in the next problem and then have a little break. All right, what do we got? Okay, if you're waiting for me to do it, I am going to start us out by saying, let's get rid of this divide by 100 by multiplying by 100. Maybe this part was the hard part, because we do need to distribute that. Okay. Wait, no, we don't distribute it, because it's going to help us get rid of the 100. Whoa. 100 times 1.96 gives us 196. We have x sub 1 minus 500. So go ahead and finish that out if you didn't yet. Can x1 be negative? X1 will not be negative. No, it's going to be positive. We know that for 1 because the mu, the average is 500. And we know we're way over here, so our number has to be more than 500 at least. Zamora, that looks good. All right. All right, good focus. Keep working on that. Add 500. James, you got it. Good job. Dave, perfect. Add 500. Add 500. See ya. X sub 1 is equal to 696. 696 what? Points? Score? I'm going to say points, because the score is usually on the point value. All right. Yeah. Thumbs up, sideways, down. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for turning him on for that. Yeah. Everyone on the screen right now is video. Oh my God. It's the first time. Actually, in this class, you guys are a little more bold to have your camera on. If not, hey, it's fine. All right, let's do 5B, and then we will be done. 5B. All right, so we have the same situation, so I'm going to just write that info down again. We got mu is 500. We got the standard deviation of 100. And now for 5B, we're told, find the range of values that defines the middle. So we need the range, which is going to be a low score to a high score, that defines the middle. All right, 68% of the distribution. This is the hard part right here, but it's not that bad, guys. All right, Let's see. First, let's draw this normal curve. Okay, let's put the mu in there, 500. Okay, and the thing about this, you could do this really quick, kind of mental math. If you remember the empirical rule, it might help you. But what we're trying to find is this score here and this score here. That makes this entire middle part here 68%, right? So if the middle part right there is 68%, right? We know from the empirical rule that's one standard deviation over, so we could do the shortcut and know that a standard deviation in this case is 100. So since one standard deviation from the middle is 68%, I know that this really is, this we know is going to be 600, this will be 400. But let's try to figure it out if we didn't have that piece of information. Or give me a thumbs up if you thought about it that way, if you thought about the 68% in respect to the empirical rule. Okay, so that might have helped you get the answer there. If you didn't see that, it's okay. There's another way to find it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. All right, 68% is 34% in this direction, 34% in the other direction. Because remember, it's 68% for both directions. So it's 34 in this way and 34 in that way from our mean. Okay. Everyone jot that down real quick. Make sure you got that. Make sure you got that. And then I'm going to break this up here and I'm going to say, okay, well, now we need to think about these two values separately. Whoa. Okay. So x sub 2 is somewhere over here. X sub 1 is somewhere over here. Okay. We know that our mu is in the middle. Okay. Now what we did before in the just above it, we know that 68% is between x sub 1, x sub 2. That helped us think, okay, well, this is 34 on this side. That has to be 34 on that side because we're talking about this in the middle. All right. So here's what I'll say. This was 34%, right? That's 34%. What is this? That's going to be 34% as well, right? 34%. Because we're looking at the same from our mu, which is 500. We're looking at mu to x sub 1, and that was 34. So we know from mu to x sub 1, it's the same thing. I just expressed it in two different parts so we can look at x1 and x2 separate. So with this, if this is 34%, then this over here has to be 16%. Why? Because half is 50%. Half of this 100% curve here is 50%. This little portion is 34%. So what I know actually is I'm looking for a z-score for x sub 1. I'm sorry, the percentile. For x sub 1, the percentile is 16% or 0.16. Now on this side over here, I know that from the mean to our second data point, it's 34%. Okay. How much was this over here? How much was half again? Half of anything? What percent? 50%, right? 50%. So I know that this side over here, the whole side is 50%. This side little bit to get to our x sub 2 is 34%. So I know that all of this, right? All of this is really what I want. I want all of this. Because z-score, remember, always goes from 0 up to that point. So all of this is the 50 plus 34. That is 84%. Woo! Or 84% we can express as 0.84. So now we have our z-score 2. We have our z-score 1. And all we need to do is I'm sorry. We have our percentile here. We have the percentile here. So all we need to do is go back to the z-score chart and find really what we're looking for is, here's the percentile. Remember, it's related to our z-score. We're going to find the z-score from that. From this, we're going to find our z-score. R1 and R2. So let's get everyone back on page here. We know we're looking for the middle 68%. So I know it's 34% here, 34% in that direction. So what I did was I broke up, looking over here just at x sub 1, and I said, well, I need to know, for the z-score, I need to know what this is. So since half from the midway over to x sub 1 was 34, I know that that's 16. On this side, we know this to the right to x sub 2 is 34%. The other half is 50%, so I add them up and I get 84%. So now we're on track to find our z-scores, and let's go ahead and do that real quick. We have 0.16. So what I need to do is go here to the z-score, and I'm going to go to the 0.1 to start. 0.1 to start. And then I need to add that, since it's 16 cents, not just 0.1, it's 0.16. I need to go to the column with the 0.06 plus the 0.1 gives us that 0.16. And here's the z-score for it. No. Hey guys, one of those days. In your brain, can you go rewind 1 minute? Everybody rewind their brain 1 minute. Okay. You guys back a minute, and it's now the past, so you don't know what I'm even talking about. I misled you. Probably because this is a little messy, but I'm looking at percentiles. So these aren't the z-score. We're finding the z-score from this. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for the percentile in the middle. That's what I meant to say. So find 0.16 in the middle as close as you can get. And we're going to take that value, 0.17, 0.18, 0.163, 0.161. 0.161 looks like it's the closest. Let's see. No. 0.1. It's going the wrong way. This is going the right way. 0.1611. So that's 0.11 off 0.11. This one though, no, this one is 0.13. Man, this was close. So we're going to go with this value. That's the closest one we can get. So it's on the very right side, and we have, from there we could find the z-score for this 0.1611. The z-score is negative 0.9. That's the row. And then the column is another 9. And that makes sense, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, Dave's waiting to get in. Thank you. Woo! All right, let's finish this off. Let's do the other side. So I'm just going to write what the z-score was for that first part. It's negative 0.99. We obviously won't have time to do this extensive of a problem, okay, for the quiz, because this would take 10 minutes for most. Okay. Now let's find real quick the 0.84, and then there actually is one more step. I apologize for that. This one's involved. All right, this one is right here. We're going to go with this number. We got the number for 0.84. We're going to go with 0.8413. Okay, so I see it's 0.8489 is our closest one. Yeah, we're going to go with this one, which tells me my z-score is positive 0.99 because it's in this, on this row, on that column. All right, so we have it now. Okay, so we have our two z-scores. Whew. And now we just got to finish this problem. So if we want to find the x values from having the mu, having the standard deviation, and having the z-score, we just have to remember this equation. Remember, it's x sub 1 minus mu over standard d. And let's put in what we know for each of these. We know this one is negative 0.99 is equal to the value I'm looking for, minus 500 divided by 100. On the right side, for our 84th percentile, we have 0.99 x sub 1 minus 500 over 100. Whew. All right. Let's multiply by 100 on both sides. 100, 100 cancels it. Over here, we get negative 99 is equal to x sub 1 minus 500. We can all solve that one. This one over here, let's do it again. 100. Here, we're going to get 99 is equal to x sub 1 minus 500. Woo, okay, add that 500 to both sides. You got your values we're looking for. Plus 500, plus 500. Yeah, let's just do two equations at the same time. Why not? See ya. X sub 1, the grand finale. X sub 1 is equal to, let's see, 401. And it's slightly off. Yeah, there you go. You got it, James. The other side, x sub 2, that should be x sub 2. X sub 2 is equal to 599. And they're 1 point off if we were to have used the empirical rule to figure it out. But that's just because the decimal charts aren't perfect for percentiles. Whew. Man, that one was a lot to it. Okay, you won't have that many steps. I think this one's like, that's why I said it was a challenge problem. Yeah. All right. Whew. I'm going to go ahead and stop that